So with the release of the structure deck and now Code the Duel is coming out this Friday, we're full on, we're into Link format, the era of Links, we're into it now. And as of right now, until the set actually drops, we just have essentially just Decode Talker to work with. Now this is something interesting, like there's a lot of people saying, oh, Links, they suck, this and that, now I can't play this deck, and there's a lot of people complaining for different reasons, but I think my reason so far that I have a problem with them is I think that as of right now, Links are really hindering creativity in the game. Now this is weird because obviously they're a new mechanic, that's cool, but they're a new mechanic that forces you to play it. They're a new mechanic that takes a lot of old decks and says you can't do this anymore unless you do this first. And I think that this is really, hindering some creativity because it's prohibiting, decks from doing what they used to do. Like obviously right now, if you're playing zombies, you just have to make 3 Omega. There's nothing else you can really do at this point because that's easier than putting resources into a Decode Talker, 3 monsters, and then only being able to make 2 more extract monsters. It's make a Decode Talker and a Beals, and there's a lot of decks like that where so far as of right now, all Link format's doing is just forcing them to play in a very, not even killing them, but making them play in an uncreative way. It's the same, even though I hate it, it's the same way with Lightsworns right now. Lightsworn zombies, Lightsworns, it's just Minerva basically. They'll make some Omegas, then they'll make a Minerva, they'll use Snow to banish whatever's in their Link zone, and then just keep making more monsters in there. It's just forcing really uncreative play, and it's also the thing of now, more people playing Zoo and Draco because Zoo can pretty much function just the same under Link as before, just, with a minor inconvenience, and now we have Mrs. Radiant coming out, so they're basically going to be back where they were, just now occasionally they'll have to make a Mrs. Radiant that gives them attack and recycles resources, oh no. And obviously True Draco, again, it doesn't matter at all. They don't use the extract, Link has virtually no effect on them. It making things worse just makes True Draco look even better. It's also an interesting timing with Konami that they released Links, and right before they did, they made True Draco and Zodiac, 2 decks that are essentially function the same going into it as they did before, especially True Draco. They released this new mechanic, they're forcing old decks to play it, and one of the best decks they've made doesn't even have to play it, which, that's just really weird that Konami released something like that people could just hop onto that and say, oh, we don't want to get with whatever's new, we'll just play this deck that doesn't need it. And again, it's just a very uncreative style of play. It's just people going, well, I can't do this, I can't think of anything for this, so fuck it, I'll just go and play True Draco, or I'll go and play Zoo because they can function without it. And it's really hurting creativity in the game, and there's a lot of, I've been doing this with deck profiles and things, there's a lot of things that I want to make or build, but I can't because Links are here. Again, it's just, like I keep saying this, but it's really hurting creativity in the game, and that's what I'm really not liking about it so far, is that it's just making it hard to be creative. And I think this will get sorted, because obviously, if you look at Synchros, if you look at XYZs, it's the same thing. The first few sets, obviously they're not going to go, hey, it's broken, here's everything you need right away. They're going to build up to it. So obviously, like the first set, we got Firewall Dragon, that's generic, but it's 4 monsters. Nobody's really making that outside of Star Grails. You have that and Decode Talker and Mrs. Radiant, that's only Earth, and again, like a lot of it's Star Grails and stuff like that. So far we have, and Gokis, we have 2 Link archetypes, or Trek Stars 2, but they're very gimmicky, and I don't want to get down with that. So we have 1 gimmicky one, Gokis, and then Star Grails, which essentially just make an extra Link. And we don't have anything good generic yet. I think once we get a good, and Link is going to be the most broken mechanic. I'm going to say it right now, Link's going to be the most broken mechanic because XYZs you need 2 monsters at the same level. Synchros you need to worry about levels and have a tuner. Link summoning is synchro summoning without tuners or worrying about levels. This isn't going to help Fairy Tail Stun once more Links come out, is because then I can just link with Kaijus and then just special another Kaiju. Because Link summoning is extraordinarily free. Once there's enough good Link monsters that you can make an extra deck out of Link monsters, like say we have some utility stuff, like once there's a Link monster that does something along the lines of Diamond Eye or Castel, you're never going to play the old one again because this is something that just needs 2 monsters. It doesn't need 2 level 4s, it doesn't need a tuner and a non-tuner that add up to an 8, it's just two monsters. Because the link summoning is so generic, once we get generic link monsters, it's going to be extremely broken. And it's weird because that's going to let things be creative again. If we get just a generic vanilla link 2 that has 2 arrows pointing down, that helps. That makes it easier for a lot of things to play. But it also just makes it's this mechanic that's going to get extremely fast and extremely broken, which is interesting. And another thing that it's similar to synchro summoning with is it puts everything in grave immediately, which is so important. Because there's so many decks where if you could overlay with things, but then go, shit, they're materials now. I need something that detaches too, or I need something that can detach turn 1. And now with links, you just go, well, they're in grave. Who cares? You have your monster, you have stuff in grave. It's just, imagine if they made a link monster that's special something from the deck. That immediately makes it another link monster. It's very interesting. It's gonna get very interesting. The mechanic's gonna get very broken, but as of right now, it's just kind of hindering creativity, which is making me not like it at the moment. And again, like I don't want to play zombies right now because I don't want to just make it Omega Turbo. I've hated that for years now, and now that's all I can do. And everyone's just playing Minerva because you can snow and ban stuff, and everyone's playing Draco because they don't need the extra deck. And it's becoming a very stale format very fast, where people are just saying fuck it and going to uncreative things. And I can't blame them because I'm doing the same thing with Fairy Tail Stun because there's just no way to make anything work right now. And yeah, and I'm hoping it'll get better, but once it gets better, it's also going to get broken, which is weird. And we're going to have to see how link format progresses and what we get, because it's going to be the most broken mechanic. It just depends on how long it takes. And I think definitely once there's a good link archetype, I'm going to want to play that. I'm looking forward to Magibolts. Even though they're not a link archetype, that deck looks like it's going to be good. Maybe not great, but it looks like it's going to be good, and I'm really excited for that. But this is just getting off track. But I just wanted to address that about link summoning and the state of the game right now, and how, I guess it's kind of, because I was for a bit, it's don't lose hope on it. We'll get there eventually. We'll be able to play stuff again eventually, once, we get some better links. And some generic links, some better links. There'll be more creative stuff we can do in the future, so don't lose hope on it, because I was starting to, but we'll get there eventually. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.